Hey, welcome back to another video. On today's video I'm going to try and find another solution for the irrigation on the side lawn. If you've been following along, I've been trying to find a way to water that side lawn now for a little while, and it's just proving to be a bit tricky. Super long, super narrow. The tractor sprinkler was too much water and too slow. Soaker hoses are currently the best option, but they're painful to, I need two different soaker hose lengths to go the entire distance. Rolling them up and storing them off the grass is a pain because you've got to roll them out again. I'm at the point where I sort of want to automate the watering again, so I want to leave whatever I've got, I want to leave there so that the water can just come on and off as it needs to through the day without me having to roll it out, put it away, the wind blowing it away, whatever. So today I'm going to try and make my own soaker hose. I wanted just a one-sided soaker hose that I might be able to mount along the bottom of the fence. Couldn't really find one that you could buy anywhere, so I'm going to try and make one with some 19mm poly pipe. The theory being that if I can mount that to the bottom of the Colorbond fence, put some pinprick holes down one side of it, cap it at one end, and I've got a flow rate valve for the poly pipe that I might be able to put in there to either increase or decrease the flow rate if I need to, but I'm just not sure if that's going to work. I don't know. I've seen people making their own soaker hoses out of old garden hoses that they then bury in garden beds. Not quite the same application. I want this to throw water about 2 meters or a bit more. So I don't know. There might be someone watching this now going, there's absolutely no way that's going to work because of the diameter of the pipe, or the position of the moon, Mercury's in retrograde. I don't know, whatever. It may not work. It may work. I'm going to try it today. I'm going to try it on a short piece of poly pipe first to see what results I get. And then if it's good, I'll do it on a full length of 45 meters of poly pipe and hope for the best. So, all right, fingers crossed. Let's get stuck into it. All right, so I've just clamped a little short piece of poly pipe here just to test it. Now I'm sure that the longer the pipe will affect the way the water pressure builds up in there, I imagine. A soaker hose always fills to the bottom first, then sprays its way back up to the tap. So I don't know, this may be not quite a super accurate way of testing, but I just want to test that it actually does work before I do it to 50 odd meters of pipe. Now, the smallest drill bit that I can find that goes into the drill chuck is 1.5mm. I have a 1mm drill, but the chuck won't pinch it shut. So I'm just going to drill maybe every 50mm along here. I think that seems like a good gap. Being super careful not to go right through to the other side because I only want one side hole. So wish me luck. Let's see how we go. At least it goes in really easy. I did have one of those punch tools that you use for irrigation drippers, but even it was 3mm diameter. So, and if you look at a soaker hose, those holes are tiny, tiny little pinpricks. So I think the smaller we can get them, the better. But again, I've done absolutely no research to qualify that in any way whatsoever. So it's all just hit and hope. Righto. Bunch of holes at 50mm apart. Take the clamps off. Give him the clamps. Futurama fans? No? Not to worry. Alright, one of those bad boys. Put a little end plug in to stop the water coming out, and of course I only bought one of those, so if this works I'll have to remove that one, because why would you buy two, Matt? They're only 88 cents each or something. One of those. Get in there. Right. And then at this end, a tap fitting. Another one of those jobbies. Push that bad boy on. Oh no. Oh, that's all right. There's just the little O-ring coming out. Get that over there. Clamp that on there. Beauty. Now, let's go up to the tap and test it. See what happens. I don't know. Right, so the plan will be, if this works, to go from here down to the ground under the pebbles, along that way under the colorbond fence, and 90 degrees, and then down the yard. But if it works as good as I want it to, I'll move this whole part to the front of the house and just do it in one zone, from the front tap, front corner of the house, straight across, straight down the fence line, the whole 45 metres. Now, there might be people out there looking at me going, water pressure and circumference of the pipe and diameter of the moon and all that nonsense, saying that it's just not going to work. Maybe, I don't know. But if it does, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, well, I'll go back to the drawing board. So I really buggered up that little O-ring when I popped it out of there, didn't I? There we go, let's set it back. Righto. Twist that little guy on. Right, now of course, there we go. So the holes are along here. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it looks like you can see that. Let's just see what happens. Oh, it's gonna work! Granted, I know it's only a short bit of pipe. The longer pipe might change it, but for the moment, I'm calling that a win. All right, so the wind has picked up a bit, so I hope you can hear me, but what I'm going to do is nail one end down here, roughly where it's going to end, try and run it all the way up the side, and nail it off up there, and that'll know I've got the right length, and then cut it to the exact length I need, cap it at this end down here, and start fixing it to the fence. I might just do it temporarily just to make sure it works, and then come along and drill the holes in the side that is facing this way, because now on my luck I'll put the holes in it and then I'll fix it to the fence and all the holes will be shooting the fence. So. Don't judge me, it's a bit untidy, but it's just temporary to make sure it works before I go too crazy. But I've just added a down from here all the way across 90 degree, and then we head off down the fence line. And what I'll do, I'll go along tucking that hose into the fence and just using some long nails to nail these saddle clips just into the ground, just to hold it there while I check that all this works before I drill a billion holes in my colorbond fence. Okay, other drill's back. Now I'm going to put less holes than I reckon I'll need first time round, because obviously I can always put more holes in. It's harder to plug them once they're in. So I'll run up and put some holes in and come back. Always have the drill going in the right direction. All right, I've got 7% GoPro battery left, so I've just drilled all the holes all the way along. I'll turn it on, see how it goes. If it works, I'll go inside, charge everything up. Tomorrow I'll come back and hard mount it and show you what that looks like. If it doesn't work, pretend this never happened. Let's see how we go. All right, so unlike a soaker hose, it's actually started from the top end instead of getting all the way to the bottom and working its way up. Oh, I think this is not going to work. But, oh, hang on. It is working all the way down. Let's go for a quick look. It's working, it's friggin' working. Sorry, I used a naughty word. So when we get down the end, the pressure, oh look, it's kind of doing it. We're just not quite getting to the road. But man, that's a start. That's a start. I'm happy with that. See, told you the GoPro was going to go flat. All right, so it's the next day. The wind has racked off a bit, which is good, but now we've got very little sun. We've had a bit of rain this morning, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, so it works. That system works, but by the time the water gets down to the bottom end here, it's missing getting to the road by about 100-150 mil, which I could probably live with, but I don't want to. I want it to water the whole lot. So what I'm going to do is cut that in half, run the bottom half from the tap at the back of the house, run the top half from the tap at the front of the house, and that way the water pressure should be plenty. So that's the next job, is to cut some more poly pipe, which is kicking around here somewhere, the leftovers, to go from the back tap across under the fence and then join in, make those connectors up and then test it again. Connected to both top and bottom taps. Only a little bit of my insides leaked to my outsides during that project, which is always, you know, it's going to happen. So that casualty I'm not too worried about. Now, just going to try them, make sure they still work after I've connected it up. So I'll turn the back one on, see what the pressure's like, and then do the same with the front. All right, so I am getting to the road in some parts, but most of it seems to be working quite well. These little guys might need to rotate the pipe up a little bit to get a bit more height out of them, but I might go and just turn the valve back a little bit so that it's not all hitting the road. You wait there and let me know what happens. Yeah. It's going to take some fine tuning, but it's working. All right, I'll go and check the front. There we go. All right, that seems to have solved that problem. I'm very happy with that. There's probably a bunch of people out there that have made their own systems like that, and it's really easy and whatnot. That's fine, but to me, that's a win because, yeah, I was having trouble fixing that problem, and now that looks like it's hopefully fixed. Thank you to my friend Ian, who helped me get that idea into motion. He came up with some good suggestions when I was sort of going down I was almost on the right track, and he sort of nudged me to the right track, so I appreciate that help. But yeah, now all I need to do is get a couple of new LinkTaps so that I can set zone 1 and 2 and the backyard and the front yard to all water autonomously while I'm at work or while I'm not at home. So I'll jump on and order some more of those tonight. If you haven't seen my video on the LinkTaps, I'll put a link to the LinkTap video down below so you can have a watch. They're a really cool wireless water timer system, so get on and have a look at them. And I can now finally get back to mowing. Yard's looking good, grass is starting to really green up, which is great. I will do a video hopefully next weekend with just where it's up to, a bit of a status, show you the program I'm using for the plant doctor stuff, and we'll get stuck into it. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time on the Line Lord.